Alright, so welcome back everyone. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the hardest career series. Today's episode, we're going for orbit for the first time. First of all, we're going to head into the mission control building. We're going to see Gene. I'm going to take the two contracts. I think there's at least two contracts. Orbit first, and there's a second contract as well for orbiting the first probe. So we're going to take those first. Then we're going to head into the VAB. We're going to put together something called the Dual 1A. I'm going to show you what I've put together, which is the first stage of the rocket we're going to be using ultimately for the first orbit. We're going to test that first stage first. Then we're going to add a second stage once that first stage is successful. Hopefully it's the first time, but you know, with all scrap it could go wrong, or it could just not have the capability I think it should have on paper. Alright, so we're going to head into the Gene's building. I'm going to take the two contracts and head into the VAB. There is no time limit, at least I hope there isn't. Last time I did this, there wasn't. Nope, that's fine. I've got another one further down. Let's get a probe into orbit. I just want to orbit a probe and then return it safely home, but we're going to just stick to these two for now. I think that's about it. So once we get into orbit, we'll open up all of these orbital science opportunities as well. Okay, so send a probe to space and get into orbit around our home world. It's got 8,199 advance, 17,546 on completion for size for reputation. We lose 27,331 if we fail. How you fail it, I don't know. Cause you don't. It's not like the given aircraft a purpose contracts where if you crash you lose the contract. There's no stipulated requirement to actually not fail, as in crash. So you can try it as many times as you want to. So how do you fail it? I don't know. Okay, so we've got exactly the same exit again. Just get into orbit. So we've got two completion rewards with this one, but and an advance 10,080, and two completion rewards. One very large, almost 30,000. Nice bit of size, nice reputation. The same size, same reputation again for a second reward. 18,720. Okay, no. There's no. Yeah, that's fine. There's no expiry date. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to design our first stage, check it for reliability, because we've got our scrap, the failure mod. We have to check and test things first. So I'm going to head into the VAB. I've already got a first stage all ready for testing. So I'm going to head in there, I'm going to show you what I've got, and we'll go from there. Okay, so in the VAB, this is the first stage of the Dual 1A. So what I've got, because we've got no way of actually controlling this thing, because we've got no engines that can gimbal yet. Well, it's stuck with the Cogswell, which has got no gimbling at all. So what I've done, I've used SSTU's procedural probe car, which luckily has the ability to, it's got its guidance system, unlike the other probe cars that we've got. I'm only going for a first stage test. We won't make it to up with 4,028 meters per second, not quite anywhere. So I've got some linear RCS just here, just because we don't have any gimbling on the first stage engines. I don't want to use the weight of or the electric usage of the reaction wheels, so I don't want to use those. So the nose cone is a tank, and that's where the monopop is for the linear RCS. That is basically it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to test this. I've got no way of cutting down 4 days, 3 hours, because I've not built one of these before. So go ahead and we shall test it. We're going to test it, I will test it from here, from KSC. So I'll build one. No, what, I'll build 3. Just like the sounding rocket, just in case we get a failure. Because we won't have to hang around, wait for you to sort of build. We'll let all 3 of them build. So that's a good few days. Once they're built, we shall head out. We'll roll them out first, and then we'll head out and we'll test them. Okay, for the first launch, the test launch of the first stage of the Joule 1. So right now I have to do this manually with the fallback tower. But obviously eventually we'll have action groups. I will have to do this. That's quite nice. So that's partial full. I'll go to full back. Bit strange. So the lights hovering in mid-air. So you can't really safe attach those to anything like the towers or anything like that. So that's something to note for the future. Okay, here we go. Never mind. Because I'm using the SSTU procedural probe core, I've got SAS. What's got SAS? So we'll test that. Okay, that should be a lot better. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Because low pad atmosphere, we don't actually need SAS. So we've got these. There's actually control surfaces, but we'll let it all work so it all gets a test. So it's got a little bit retro there. .5 kilometers. 6. About 20 kilometers in the upper atmosphere, so I'll start to lean over and follow prograde. I think it should also throttle back as well. Okay, I'm going to throttle back to about halfway. I'll switch to orbital prograde. 90 seconds remaining. Throttle right back. We'll turn the RCS off for a bit. I'm going to force the prograde down. So we could have begun the gravity turn a lot earlier. Of course, I've got quite high TW at the pad, but that's simply because we haven't got a payload yet. We'll see, eventually we need the payload. Okay. Extinguish the main motors for a while. About 45 seconds to the upper axis. I don't think we've got enough delta V to get to orbit. We've got 1,463. But it's a good first test, so the other two aren't needed. Also, we did a bit of extra weight on the nose. We could have problems controlling it, so I think I'll keep the RCS where it is for the next version. Increase the pitch a little bit. So we'll follow per grid. Okay, I just extinguish the engine. We've got 1 meter per second. So that is that. 5 kilometers short, but we went a little bit high at the upper axis. Not too bad though. So this will enter Kerbin's atmosphere. It might be destroyed completely, but you never know. Some parts might be being rescued from somewhere or recovered. But that's the first test, so that's there. That's successful. Doesn't mean anything though. Doesn't mean that we can use the other 2 rockets with absolute 100% certainty that's actually going to work properly. But that's good. So that's more than capable of getting a second stage. But a second stage is going to need a motor and a little tank. Just give it an extra little kick, because obviously with extra weight, this won't be able to do what it just did. We'll be able to achieve the same altitude. Okay, let's head back. Let it burn up in the upper atmosphere of Kerbin. Okay, so if I had any parachutes, could have recovered that that first stage. It did actually survive Reentry. We got one little bit back. And that's the fallback tower. The strong back, as they're called. Okay. Place anyway, rotate. Yeah, they weren't actually working. They're supposed to rotate those illuminators, but obviously they're not working. Unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to head back into the VAB. I'm going to put the upper stage on that first stage. I'm going to try and get to orbit. So head into the VAB first. I'll put something together. Bring you all in. Show you what I've done. We'll head out and we'll test it. Okay, so what we've got here is the Kerslutternik 001. So it's the first artificial satellite of Kerbin. Or at least hopefully it will be if it's successful. So at the first stage, which you've already seen, the second stage is made up of exactly the same engine we've got here, which is a Cogswell. Again, there is no gimbal on those motors. So the RCS again. I've got a tiny small tank here, about 40 monoprop. Hopefully that's enough. So the Cogswell on the second stage, which you can't actually see because it's underneath the fairing there. Procedural tank. We've got the Staputnik. Got the 3, I think there's 3. Yeah, 3 transmitters, oh, sorry, 3 antennas. So I've still got the fairing to put on. So I've got the launch base. Got the launch base. Excuse me. And the fallback, the strong back tower. That's basically it. So we've got a little bit of electric charge. We've got a reaction wheel up here as well. Gives us electric charge 402, but that's with the procedural probe core we've got here from SST, which is already used. I think that's got about 100 or something like that. I think it is 200, something like that. 300. Spacecraft has about 92, I believe, in the procedural battery that I've attached to it. Plus another 10 points in the actual stay put mix, so it gives us 102 on the spacecraft itself. So I'm going to fit the fairing. Take 3 days, 1 hour. I'm going to make sure it's new parts though. No, so it's 3 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes and 22 seconds. What's the reliability? 4. Oh, that's not too bad because the stay put mix brand new. Not used it before. Although I've built it to test, so obviously that isn't a new. Well, it's a second generation. It should be a second generation. Yeah, generation 2. Okay, so that is that. So we've got, yeah, that first stage being brought right down from over 4,000 delta V down to 2,984 over 2 minutes and 27 seconds. We've got an extra 3,606 from the second stage. Gives us 6,600 meters per second. That should be easily enough. 2 minutes and 19.5 seconds. At the pad we have 1.13 on the first stage. And at the pad we would have 1.32 on the second stage. 1.32, 1.54 at altitude. Okay, that's that. So 3 days, 5 hours, 38 minutes and 22 seconds. Once it's finished, we shall head out and try and get to orbit for the first time. In the meantime, we're going to fit the fairing and then start the build. Okay, so it's just come up to dawn at Kerbal Space Center. Got Pad A, Launch Complex 1. And hopefully this launch will go ahead smoothly. Okay, so right now I don't have any action groups, so I can't do this without bringing up the menu. Got to open the top clamp. Obviously, once I've got action menus, I can do this without having to mess around. So that's quite nice. Partial fallback. I'll go into the description. You actually do staging, but I don't know if you can or not. Okay, full throttle. Binocular information up here. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. RCS on. Get a little bit high and let it lean over and then full of prograde. Okay, so the first stage is spent. I'm going to keep it attached for the next 60 or so seconds. Then we're going to get the fairing away first. Bottom throttle out. Okay, 62 seconds. Well, the second stage has no SAS. So I'm going to have to do this manually. So I'm going to turn. I want it to be nose up slightly above the horizon. Because the second stage isn't quite as powerful as the first. If I'm nowhere near. Okay, bottom throttle out, so we're going to let the first stage go. Second stage is live. I'm going to low sensitivity. Should be okay for the most part. Shouldn't need to do much manoeuvring. Sometimes I can see the RCS of the first stage firing. It's a bit strange. Okay, I'm bringing the nose down a little bit. Just bring down to the horizon. What I don't want to do is take too long in doing this and lose contact with this hardware. Okay, that's that. If it lets me, I'm going to turn these antennas on. Again, because I've got no action points, I'm going to do this by pointing and clicking. Oh, just out of contact. Oh, I'm sure we'll get another ground station somewhere. Hopefully. Just have to see though, but that is that. Okay, so in the meantime we have world's first milestone. We'll do that one first. We've entered orbit, 14,400 cash, 1 science, 2 reputation. That's good. Let me just get rid of that. Start from the beginning. Okay, so let's get the probe into orbit. You did it. You've successfully got a probe into orbit. 70,546 cash, 4 science, 4 reputation. We did it. We didn't tell the recovery team that you'd be staying in orbit, in space, I should say. So they're still looking. Great job. 18,720 cash, 4 science, 6 reputation. Orbit Kerbin, achieve goals. That's the second of the rewards for that primary contract. So achieve goal completed. 28,800, 4 science and 6 reputation. What's that give us altogether? 38.7 size, 539,251 cash. Oh, is it 22% reputation? So it's gone up a little bit. Not by much though. Alright, so as soon as it's we've got some contact with this, I'm going to activate the antenna, all 3 of them, and then separate from this final stage. I don't know what it's going to be though. Okay, so I've finally got contact. See some of the actually no, we haven't got the probe car here, have we? No. I thought maybe some of the electric charge coming from that, but obviously it's not. So it's on the first stage. It's a bit awkward. Like I've already said, with action menus, action groups, I should be able to do it without messing around. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's Kerslutternik 1. So I'm going to follow up with another couple of these. I've got 2 more being built, just to get the reliability of the probe cores and the other various parts up a little bit. And then we can start our first science. So the next episode will be our first science from orbit. And then we shall continue our program from there. Okay, so we're back at KSC. That is the first artificial satellite around Kerbin. So that is year 1, day 404. It was about 0410 when we achieved orbit. So for the historical record, it's got 38.7 size, 539,251. We lost that first stage, it was destroyed. Quite expensive, not ridiculously expensive. We've got more money back from the contracts, so that's what matters. Alright, so that's the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to click like, it's appreciated. If you want to leave a comment or a question, by all means, please do so. You're more than welcome to do so. If you don't forget to subscribe to the channel for this series and other series I'm going through right now and in the future. We also have Discord, Facebook and Twitter. You can find links to those 3 platforms on the banner on the front page of the channel. Alright, so once again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. In the meantime, as always, take care and bye bye.